Stand by to launch FanStream Sports.
3, 2, 1.
Let's start.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to FanStream Sports. Nothing but pure sports. This is the JP Show.
JP, it is so good to hear you back on the air.
Stand by. Now, here's JP.
Show. Welcome in to a Monday edition of the JP Peterson Show. Man, we are jam-packed. I am jacked up, ready to roll. Been a big weekend of sports here in the Tampa Bay area. Some historic, monumental things happening. We got a number one seed in the favored and hometown loving Gators go down at Benchmark International Arena. I was there courtside. What a freaking game that was. What an atmosphere that was. We'll get to that. USF's Brian Hodgson. Moving on. What's left at USF? Where are they at right now? Losing great coaches right and left. But I'm here to tell you, things are good at USF. Things are really, really good at USF. In fact, things are as good as they've ever been. So if you're a Bulls fan, do not be disappointed. There is lots of hope ahead. The Lightning take 7 out of 8 on this road trip, and what an incredible weekend that was. Lots to get to there. And Valspar was an incredible event this week. Nick and I both attended it. And what a setup, what a champion, what a finish at Valspar. So good morning to you, Nick Geddes. How are you, my friend?
I am doing good, kind of stumbling in here. I am still recovering a little bit from Saturday. It was a fun afternoon.
So your wife who just gave birth is less sore than you walking up and down the hills of the Copperhead?
My hamstrings after about 30 minutes were begging for help. They were begging for help. I'm not going to lie.
You need more exercise, young man.
The sunburn that I had was unreal. They ran out of sunscreen at the Valspar.
Sunscreen gives you cancer, son. What are you doing? Oh my God.
And it was hot.
Saturday was, God, you are such a wuss.
It was
my
hot.
God, it was perfect.
It was a little hot.
It was absolutely perfect. Well, says the man who leaves a hospitality area where they are giving you free beer, where girls in orange shorts are giving you free beer. Maybe Casey made you leave. To walk out into the Gen Pop and pay $30 for a beer.
Well, first of all, I paid $9 for a beer.
Okay.
But the drink, Casey wanted to mix. She's not a beer drinker,
right.
So we went to go get her.
Running around, yeah.
We went to go get her like a vodka drink.
Oh yeah, you're really gonna get nailed there.
$14 for the
when
vodka.
When did that happen?
For the vodka. But I told her, I said, honestly, $9 for a beer and $14 for a mixed drink. If you compare it to sporting events, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I guess.
Decent.
Yeah.
But after that, though, I did and then made the trek all the way from, like, I think I was all the way at hole 2, and I was like, we got to get back to 12. Yeah. We got to go back to 12.
And it is kind of up and down from the top of the hill where you come in, where 1T and 10T are, to the bottom of the hill. It probably drops about 60 to 80 feet. So for Floridians, it's going up the mountain on 18. I get it. But that was a great atmosphere out there. So we're going to get to that as well. So much to get to. Jackson Smith and Jigba just became the highest paid receiver in NFL history. What, $168 million total, 4 years? Mm-hmm. How much guaranteed?
$120 million guaranteed. Deserved.
Well deserved. And he's now in the division with Mike Evans, making 20 times what Mike Evans is making. That whole thing still. That's going to reverberate. Man, how fast the Bucks have fallen. How fast has the bloom come off the Jason Light Rose?
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my God. I didn't know it was this bad, like among the Bucks fans. Now, granted, this is social media.
Right.
But, man, everybody is after him right now.
Yeah, I think it's a trendy thing to do.
I think everybody's just mad at everyone. They're mad at the Glazers. They're mad at Bulls.
Well, because the Bucks have taken a dump.
Yeah, I get it.
They've gone from, what I thought was a legitimate chance to win the Super Bowl last year to complete rebuild.
Yeah, no, I won't go that far, but they're not a Super Bowl. They're not in that window anymore, I don't think.
No. Well, I don't know. Wait, let's see what they do in the draft. And maybe
Yeah,
something happens.
If they have a Wirfs Winfield type draft, that's
we're
what they need.
We're a long way from the regular season.
Right.
Lots of things can happen. Hell, coaching changes can happen. We've had that happen. So, I mean, we have, as down as I am on this squad right now, we have no idea what it's going to look like. I mean, we have an idea. It's unlikely there'll be a coaching change. I'm just saying it's happened, late in the season before, right? When Bowles became, that was March 31st, right? Some crazy thing. So it's happened before. I don't expect it to happen now. He's going to be the coach next year. That's the plan. And that's the problem. Quite frankly, that's the plan and that's the problem. And I think people put that on Jason Light. And I don't want to get off track because we got a rundown here that we got to get to, but we're going to get into that discussion. We're going to get into that Bucks discussion here with Nick today. Because you went on Pewter Report this past week, right?
I did. I went with Matt Matera on Tuesday. Great time as always.
They're so good. Yeah, fantastic.
But yeah, that's what spawned the discussion was we started talking about Jason Licht, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that bloom has come off the rose. Not for me. I don't necessarily think, you win a Super Bowl, you put together, and he did. That gets you a lot of leash.
Yeah.
As it should.
You build a lot of equity, I think.
Yes, you do. I mean, fans want to win it every year. I get it, but
you know what my general rule of thumb though is, and then we'll get to the rundown.
5 years
is when, after you win a Super Bowl, you get 5 years. Now we probably broke that rule. We've done plenty of bitching and moaning for sure. It's natural, but after 5 years, you sort of like, okay, what's next?
Yeah. You get, if you're a general manager, you get 5 years to put it back together. At least show us you got some plan. Yeah, and we'll get it. And for me, that's the deal. They're in the mid. You can't be there. So we'll get to that. All right. So we're gonna begin after a little discussion here with Brian Hodgson and his departure from USF to Providence. Great opportunity for him. No football team to worry about. You're in a league, a very basketball-centric league. You're up in the Northeast where he grew up. I mean, that you grow up playing basketball up there. There's, this is kind of the royalty, right? There's just programs that are basketball royalty in Providence. I think still come in the Northeast. That's one of them. Syracuse is another. St. John's is another. These are these old Big East teams that were all about basketball back in the day. And they certainly, with someone of Brian's age, you grow up with that and you understand that. There's a time when the Big East was the best basketball conference in America. And so there's some royalty there, especially if you're from the Northeast. That's a major draw for Brian Hodgson. And I think, I understand the anger from a lot of USF fans that have been jilted now twice in 6 months with Hodgson and Golish leaving.
Yeah.
I mean,
five basketball coaches, different reasons, obviously, but 5 basketball coaches in 5 years.
You kind of feel like, a dude, like a really good, solid dude who's, dated a couple hotties and they both just said, yeah, see ya. They left you for somebody hotter, more money. They left you for a dude with more money. That's what happened. Both times. That's got to suck. That's got to suck for USF fans. And I get it. That sucks. But I think there's a silver lining here. And I know it's hard to find. And I know many USF fans just said, shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear nothing about silver lining right now. I'm just pissed. I'm pissed at Brian Hodgson. He's disloyal. He's a terrible human being. How do you just leave us after 1 year? You tease us, and then you just haul ass. You shake it a little bit, and then you haul ass. Like, what do you do? That's rude. And for Providence, I think I heard a lot of people like, what Providence? I'm like, you don't understand. I get it. People down here don't get it. I live down here, but I went through that era. So, yeah, no, that's a thing. It's a thing. And they got a lot more money to spend in a lot better NIL situation in a league where if you win that league, now you have your pick of jobs.
And no football team to deal with either.
Right. You have your pick of jobs. So listen, he's 38 years old. He's upwardly mobile. You didn't think he was going to stay here forever, did you? Do not be mad at Brian Hodgson. Do not be mad at him. Thank him for his service and say, attaboy, great job. We appreciate you elevating our program. and bringing it to a situation where now not once but twice new coaches have come in here and won a conference championship. So it can be done, and you've got something there. There's something there. And yeah, they may be coming here as a stepping stone as well. Who cares? Who cares? If you're a USF fan, you're not rooting for the head basketball coach. You're not rooting for the head football coach as a person. You're rooting for your program to be successful and keep taking upward steps. That's the goal. I don't care who the head coach is when we win a national championship. I don't give a rip. It's probably not going to be this guy. But what you better freaking do is leave it in a better situation than you found it. That's what's important. And Alex Golish did that. Y'all were all mad at him, and Brian Hartline walked through the door, and you got a better coach. Oh, well, we didn't see that coming. Well, open your eyes. Open your eyes. Because this ain't the old same South Florida. People want to come here and coach. That wasn't always the case. That wasn't always the case. Dick Vitale called this basketball job the toughest job in America 30 years ago, 20 years ago, and it's still right. You got to fill a stadium dealing with the Bucks, Lightning, Rays, Gators, Seminoles, Hurricanes. You got all that competition, and you got to grab that slice of your pie and try to fill a 10,000-seat stadium. You know what? It's damn near impossible to do. Damn near impossible to do with all that's going on here. And that's not USF's fault. That's not – it might you might have some issues with administration, some of the things they're doing, but they're getting better. And that's the point. Everything is getting better at USF, and they're serious about athletics now when previously they had not been.
Mm-hmm.
That's the difference. That's why Brian Hartline came here. That's why Brian Hodgson came here. And that's why the next coach you get is going to be a good coach. Now, will he have the same success? I don't know that. But you got a much better chance now than you've ever had. Because people now go, you know, the guys that are winning down on that level, the Brian Hodgsons of the world, who become the Ben McCollums of the world and start going up the ladder to the UNCs, and which will have a new coach soon, and the Kansases and all the Blue Bloods. So if eventually Brian Hodgson is, you know, taking over for Pitino at St. John's, don't be surprised, but also say, that's our guy. That's our guy. He came here. So if you're a USF fan, this is not a time for woe is me, Brian Hodgson's a bitch. That's not what this is. This is, thank you, brother. Did a great job. Thank you for elevating the program. We'll take it from here. You walk into it confidently like Rob Higgins is doing, and you go find another Brian Hodgson, another Amir, another Alex Golish, another Brian Hartline, because they're out there. You just got to find them. You got to be smart enough to find them. And if you keep doing that and you keep stacking, then you know what's next? The ACC or maybe the Big Ten. That's what's next, and that's the climb. That's where you're at. Be thankful that you didn't take a step back with this guy. Be thankful, and I hope you enjoyed the ride. I told you to. That was a great watch this year. Thank you, Brian Hodgson. Thank you, Isaiah Nelson. Thank you, Wes Enos. Thank you, Pinion. Thank you all. That was a hell of a team. I'll never forget watching that basketball team. They were fun as hell to watch. But that's history now. And now you stand on their shoulders and you move forward. And be grateful you didn't take a step back, because that happens. You're not going to find them all. You're going to whiff on some. You'll get an Antigua. You know, it's going to happen. So let's go find another. But it was more apt to happen in the past because not many people wanted this job. Now they want it. Now they want it. So don't be dismayed, Bulls fans. This is a step in the right direction. And don't be pissed at Hodgson, please. Golish, maybe.
Yeah, I was going to say. I think the general feeling. A lot of people were like pretty like either ready for Golish to leave or they had it out for him.
Be that kind of guy.
Yeah, I think that was always going to be the case with Alex Golish.
Yeah, he's got a shelf life.
I think it's a little different with Brian Hodgson.
Yeah, he's much more authentic. I think.
I would agree with that, but I understand why USF fans mad today because either you went to the school or you support the school, the program. I mean, you want to believe that your program is a place where people want to be and they want to stay, right? Everybody wants that. And listen, I've gone through it too as a UCF person. I mean, we watched Scott Frost win 13 games, go undefeated, and said, "Nah, I'm going to Nebraska."
Yeah,
I watched Josh Heupel come in and follow that up with another New Year's Six bowl appearance. Then he went to Tennessee. It happens.
Yeah.
And in UCF, the way they got around that was they brought Frost back. You want to know why? Because he ain't going to go anywhere else if he succeeds there, right?
That's his ceiling.
That's his ceiling. That's where he's going to be. So, and you have to think too, when it comes to like football, because if you compare the two sports, like the American in football is probably the 5th conference after the Big Four. Would you agree in football?
Yeah. Yeah. I'd have, yeah.
It's not the same way in basketball. The American, we talked about it. The American
it sucked this year.
It sucked.
With Memphis down.
Yeah, it's not, the American is not exactly a great basketball conference anymore.
FAU down.
And it almost feels like it's a case of USF in basketball, at least, has outgrown their own conference. They have.
I think they're the only team spending
they have so many money. They have more resources, I think, than anybody. I mean, sure, Memphis is probably right there with them too, with their investment in basketball. Yeah. But they've almost like outgrown it. And so they do what they are supposed to do this year, and they win the league. They get the bid for the NCAA tournament. You go and play Louisville. Unfortunately, you have to pick a bad day to have a bad shooting day, right?
Yeah, horrible.
Is what it is. And he leaves to go to Providence, which, that was a school. And you obviously were around when Providence was really rolling and going to, I think a couple Final Fours were in there. Yep. Ed Cooley was there for a while and had that thing rolling, and they were a perennial tournament team. I have to imagine in this NIL world we live in, it's Providence. There's a lot of pretty rich alum over there that
they don't have money to spend on football.
They don't have money to spend on football. They just had 3 really down years. So they're motivated to turn that thing around. And Brian Hodgson's a damn good basketball coach. And to the point, he turned down Syracuse to go to Providence. And I feel like if he had gone to Syracuse, there's like this thinking of like, oh, well, he went to Syracuse. That's a blue blood, all the success. Well, in the modern day and where Syracuse is at in Providence is kind of a better job than Syracuse, you could argue.
And the word is that Syracuse's athletic department is a disaster. Yeah. I mean, and that can happen to big brands. Look at Florida State.
Yeah. But you also brought up a good point. Did you leave it a better place than you found it? I don't know how you could argue against it. USF, because of, the obviously the passing of Amir, was obviously it's just devastating. Yeah. And so last year they had an interim coach, and it was like, okay, now we got to start over again. And then Hodgson comes in here, and then year one just takes this thing to the NCAA tournament. And the whole, if you build it, they will come. I think that was proven. That concept was proven correct this year. Yep. I've never seen that Yuengling Center as filled as it was this year for the basketball team.
Well, Amir popped it at a couple 10Ks.
He did. Yeah. This was a little different, I think. Yeah. And everybody got on board where it's like, okay, now USF's I don't want to say a basketball school, but basketball is a big part of the university now. And so I think Hodgson was a big part of that. But it was also, this whole year really has been one of the best all-around years for USF, at least men's athletics. When you look at the football team, did they underachieve a little bit? Sure. Still won 9-10 football games. Basketball goes to the tournament. And by the way, the baseball team's 20-4 right now.
Top 25.
Let's not forget that.
Top 25.
The baseball team is in the top 25 right now. Mm-hmm. And has a pretty good shot to make the College World Series. And that's another, hire.
Second-year head coach.
Mitch Hannes comes in, second-year head coach. So USF, to me, is still in a really, really good spot.
Great spot.
And you're going to, like you said, you're going to be able to attract, I think, a much better candidate going forward. And I think Rob Higgins, the way he sort of operates and trying to make this thing into a premier university and a premier destination for guys, I think he's trying to put systems in place to potentially, keep guys longer than a year.
Yeah. Well, that's going to happen when they get to the next step.
Yeah, it's going to. That's going to
once they get to P4, the P2, or whatever it's going to be. And I think this winning, by the way, makes them have a much better case for all they have, big market, big university, AAU, everything that they bring to the table, which is considerable. USF, in my mind, the top non-P4 university most likely to get into a bigger conference, I think, in my opinion. So they're ready to go. It's just a matter of what's it going to look like and continuing to position yourself as an elite player in the space, which they are. You have a top 25 football program and I believe top 25 basketball program this year. Mm-hmm. You did. I mean, FSU can't say that.
No.
So
my alma mater can't say that.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, they're legit. And that's where I think if you're a USF fan, you got to take, I'm just going to say it. You guys don't take constructive criticism very well. There, I said it. You don't. Everybody wants to help you, but you keep yelling back, saying, oh, no, we're already there. No, you're not. You should be. Like I said, you have a top 25 football and basketball. FSU doesn't, but you're not that brand yet. That takes decades and decades of winning at a high level. National championships. As much as you don't want to hear me say that, that's the truth. That's the truth. But you're getting there. And you should be proud of that. You're moving in the right direction. Like not baby steps either. Like this is what's happened in the last 3 or 4 years is a big effing deal. You could win a freaking football game.
Yeah.
Could win one against the team in your division. Now you're going to bowls every year. You were actually on the graphic for being in the national championship. You were right there. You had a shot. You're 3 years away from not even being able to win a football game. And I know you don't want to admit that you're not there yet. I get it. But there's things you got to work on. And you're not going to want to hear me say this. But I don't want to give away cover, but I've talked to a lot of longtime USF people. And they'll tell you something that Brian Hodgson won't say publicly, but we got to be better than that. When your team's on a 16-2 run and people stand up and there's people behind them going, sit down. That's not serious basketball.
Well, that happens. That happens too much at every sporting event.
I understand. But he's going to go to Providence and that place is going to be packed because it's the only damn game in town. They got nothing else to do. But that's part of it. That's why I say you have so much competition for the fans, but you got to get them in there. You got to create an atmosphere at these basketball and football games. You create, there are small universities all over America doing this, but it's because it's the only game in town. I get it. I understand the challenges, but we got to be better. We've got to be better as a fan base. I got to be better as a reporter, giving more time to USF, and because Coach Hodgson pointed out, attending more games. Although I have to cover all the sports, Coach, by the way, and I don't get paid as much as you do. Drive up there. But anyway, love it. And when I went, I was like, damn, that's awesome. That's freaking awesome. That was a great show they put on this year. And most of you missed it. It's fantastic. Great basketball. Okay, I'm going to wrap this up. Anything else you want to say on USF?
No, I think we pretty much covered it.
And I think you're going to, I don't know who it is. I have no idea who the next coach is, but I think you're going to like him.
Can I make a comment real quick on that? Because I saw some names thrown out there, and this will be fluid, I'm sure. But there's a name that was like on a lot of people's list that I'm like, it would actually kind of not inspire me.
It's a retread, right?
It is.
Who?
Bobby Hurley.
Ooh.
I know he's
something to prove.
I know he's a name. Maybe he has something to prove. Maybe I'm looking at it differently. I just thought that like at Arizona State, he got a long leash and didn't really do a whole lot of anything.
Yeah.
Like, does it feel a little too Brian Gregory-ish to you?
Yeah. Yeah. I just show me where that's worked.
Like, I like the proof. I kind of like the idea of going and getting a top assistant at a major program, kind of how Hodgson was like a Nate Oates guy.
Yeah, but I want him I want to see how he coaches as a head coach. I'm not saying absolutely, but it just seems if you've not done it yet, we're over that. We're over, you've not. I think USF deserves a guy who's won a conference championship at a lower level like Brian Hodgson.
That's true. Or you just get like a mid-major coach somewhere. that has had, success, and you bring him in too. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. That would be, to me, the other option to go towards. But
I want to see a guy who's won something, and I don't care what level it's at. I really don't. But if you show me two D2, national championships or runner-ups, that's what I'm interested in. I want guys who are proven coaches and proven winners, because college basketball is so – you just needed to look at yesterday's games all weekend long. It is so dependent on coaches in the final minutes, making the right calls, getting their players to execute in the moment. And that's a great segue to the Iowa-Florida game, because Florida was the better team. They were the deeper team. They were the more talented team. There's no question about it, versus Iowa. Iowa, and I don't even want to say they're the better coach team, but they executed better. Because I'm not going to say Ty Golden got out coached, because he doesn't. He might be the next coach in North Carolina, but he doesn't get out coached. That guy knows what the hell he's doing. And if you haven't seen the game, I'm sorry, I can't recount the whole thing. So I'm talking to people that watched the game. It came down to the final two. I mean, Iowa got out early, and it was a effing slugfest in the first half.
Literally.
I mean, punches were thrown. Punches were actually thrown. No one was ejected.
Yeah, it was interesting. It's interesting. Punches were thrown on the floor and no ejection.
Yeah, and the guy that hits the game-winning shot was the guy who threw the punch. But I'm glad he did not get kicked out of the game. And I'm glad they didn't kick both of them out of the game, because that's oftentimes an overreaction. I think they did exactly what they should have done, and that's two technicals. Because I do think that Fulgaris was punching at the ball. I don't think he was punching at the man. Or maybe he was going to punch at the man and at the last minute decided this is not a good idea. Let's make it at the basketball. But he did not connect and didn't come close to connecting, frankly. So, but it looked bad because it was a punching motion. So I think the refs did exactly what they should have done in a big situation like that, where the season's on the line, whether it's the Florida player or the Iowa player, unless it's grotesquely obvious they're trying to physically hurt them and do hurt them, then, you got to let them stay in a game. It's too big a game, too big a player, and too big a spot. So we'll just deal with that right away. But so Florida came back and they made a run when they kind of matched the physicality of Iowa, because Iowa was pushing them around. And Iowa also has this uncanny ability they do not shoot unless they have a layup and it's under 10 seconds on the clock. They just do not. Their first 30 seconds, the first 20 seconds of their offense is running around, getting the defense tired, and then they execute in the moment. Except they really didn't. In terms of Bennett Sturts, who's their best player, who was 5 of 16, only 13 points on the game, missed a lot of big shots that he normally hits. So Iowa really could have run away with this one, but Florida was just in the second half. I thought they matched their toughness. And when I say toughness, it's stuff you really can't see on TV, and that's why being courtside is so cool. It's the reach-in fouls, the bumping, and the physicality that never gets called, and rightfully so, because it doesn't necessarily gain an advantage. And it's just physical basketball. You got it. If you want to post up, well, it's going to be a battle. You're not going to just throw your hand up and go to the block. You are going to have to earn that spot. There's pushing and shoving, and these were big, big boys. I tell you what, that was as fun a basketball game as I've witnessed in a long time, because I was also sitting on the Mason-Dixon line. I was sitting like back from like the second row, from where the press was. And I was like on where the Gator fans started and the Iowa section was. Like, number 8, Coke, that his dad was right next to me, and he was a huge man. And that whole Iowa group was going bananas. And when that scrum went down, I thought the two fan bases were going to fight. Then the coaches almost fought, right? The coaches came at it. And then I was like right there. And it was an emotional game. It was an emotional game for the players. And then it comes down to 2 possessions. The Gators have a 2-point lead, 10 seconds left. And what Golden was going to do was take a foul and put one of their, as he said, role players on the line to make 2 shots. 2 free throws to extend. And even if so, the best that they could do, and I thought this was a brilliant strategy. The best, so he's thinking we're going to put one of their bad free throw shooters on the line. So he's got to go to the line with 5 seconds left, and the most he's going to be able to do is get you into overtime. And we're still going to have a shot to win. We're going to have a shot to win in regulation. That's the worst we could do. I think that's really interesting. I thought that was a really interesting strategy, and I also think it's the right strategy. Problem is they didn't execute it. They did not. They were going to double team start, so he couldn't get the ball, and certainly couldn't get the ball moving towards the basket, and that's exactly what he did. So they didn't execute on the inbounds play defensively, and they got Sturts loose, who comes up the sideline, and now he's created kind of a 3-on-2, 2-on-1, where how has to decide either I go to Sturts and keep him from taking a 3, but if I do that, I'm going to leave Fulgaris, Alvaro. I'm going to leave Alvy wide open in the short corner for the 3. So once they broke that contain, they were in a bad spot defensively. They had to choose shooters, so they chose the right one, and that kid just stepped into it like it was, Sunday morning
onions.
CYO league, man, and he just nailed it, nothing but freaking net. And he's got a really flat shot too. It's kind of weird. It just goes, but it just like a dagger. But the Gators still had 4.5 seconds left.
Yeah. Oh.
So they get it to Xavier Lee, who's like a rocket, and he's going to the basket. I'm like, oh, he's going to win this with a layup, or he's going to get fouled. And he goes for the pass with under a second left. You got to know in that situation, you just went the length of the floor. You do not have time to pass.
No, at that point, like he drove to the basket. There didn't seem like there was a shot there. They had it well defended, Iowa did. I think at that point, you're just sort of trying to lean into a foul. Like, is that your best hope there?
Yes.
But it's like he panicked, and it's like he just
and by the way, they were calling everything.
Yeah,
on shots. I mean, I would have been shocked if they didn't call that contact. And as Golden said in the post game, he had advantage. He was either going to make it or get fouled.
Yeah,
he was buying.
Yeah, but you got to get something up.
You got to get something up. You got to get something up. Just ask Darling for St. John's.
Yeah.
What a freaking prayer that was. What a shot. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. But and that's what it came down to. When you're a 9 seed and you're Iowa, and I asked McCollum about this and also Sturts about their patience, man. Their patience and the way they killed the clock on every freaking possession and got a good shot was really like virtuoso. They just don't get nervous late in the shot clock. They don't panic. Every shot they're pulling with like 2 seconds left on the shot clock, like it's nothing. Like it's right in rhythm every single time.
Yeah. So to me, it's just stunning though. Like from a neutral standpoint, anytime you see a shot like that, that's the stuff that March is made of.
Yes.
You're going to see that in the when they do the one shining moment. That's going to be there. But it was just stunning to me because I thought Florida, I mean, the way Florida played and I know it was Prairie View A&M, but you're watching that game and you're like, holy shit. Like they won by like 50.
That's when I put on my Instagram. Florida is so good.
Yeah. And the way
Final Four bound. Whoops.
The way they ended the season, suggested that they were going to be maybe the favorite, a lot of people's favorite to go in.
They have it all.
They had it all. And you look at Iowa, Iowa won like only 3 basketball games in the last month and a half of the season.
They lost 11 times.
Yeah. I mean, this wasn't like necessarily a good Iowa team going into the tournament, but that's kind of what the tournament does. It's just very funky and you never can predict these things.
I think it was Banks, number 8, who said on the podium, was asked about toughness in the game and being physical. And he goes, yeah, we play in the Big Ten. We play in the Big Ten. They play in the what are they in? He literally asked the question. What conference are they in?
I was gonna say, does the
Greg Sankey just went in the back of the room? Just went. Oh.
Does the SEC Big Ten sort of rivalry? Does it go to basketball too all of a sudden? Because you also,
I think I have that. I got to get that. I'll get that.
You
to
had
you
also,
tomorrow.
I think, was it yesterday or the day before? I can't remember now, but it was. You had another Big Ten SEC matchup. A big one was Nebraska and Vanderbilt.
Yeah,
Nebraska got that one.
Yeah,
and so all of a sudden, the Big Ten teams rolling over the SEC teams in basketball
just means more.
And I thought the SEC was the best basketball conference going in.
Well, it was toughness. They were tougher than the Gators. And I think that little scrum kind of proved it when Condon threw Alvaro to the ground and then the punch. And I think they even said that. They said we were going to let them know that we were taking the last shot, like in terms of punch. Like we were not backing down. We were not backing down.
And even when
and I think that shocked the Gators a little bit. I'm gonna tell you, their first half, they played to the pace of Iowa. They accepted it, and they played tentative. You could just see it. Shots that they would normally pull in transition, they thought twice about it. And that wasn't their game. Now in the second half, when they built the lead, they started pulling those shots, and they played with more swagger, and they played with their confidence. But they had already elongated the game, Iowa, enough to get it down to the last few minutes of who's going to execute better. And those are 50-50 games.
Yeah.
And they hit the big shot. Florida didn't.
Yeah, because I thought, Florida got down 11 in that second half, and then they went on a run and took a 4 or 5 point lead.
Yeah.
I think everybody in that moment was like, all right, Florida's going to win this game by double digits.
Except me when I went to my Hard Rock live bet and said, I can get Iowa in 2.5. I'll take it.
There you go.
Because my under bet ain't going to hit. Although I almost doubled it because it was 71-70. And I had, how do they know?
I'm glad,
I had 141.5 and it was 71-70, 141. And I had one of under 141.5. And that was with a minute to go. So if Florida didn't make their free throws to go 72-70, I could have doubled the middle. But anyway, I ended up winning.
You had a great betting story. Yeah. I had a bad one yesterday.
You had a bad beat?
Yeah, I had a bad one. I'll get to it later.
All right.
Let's glad that you made some money.
Yeah. I love live betting. Live betting's fun. And you're using the information that you're watching right in front of you, which I think is good. So anyway, I thought, look, Florida had a great opportunity this year, and that team had everything it needed to win. Mm-hmm. Great coaching, size, playmaking ability, defensive mind. I mean, they had it all. They were deep. And that's March, man.
Yeah.
That's it. That's a team like that played their ass off. Iowa hit big shot after big shot after big shot. Florida missed 5 right at the rim. Missed a couple dunks, layups, and that was the difference. One team played better than the other. And on any given day.
Yeah.
That's March Madness.
Florida got nothing from Ruben either.
Yeah.
He was a 0 for the entire day. Took one shot.
Yeah.
19 minutes, had some foul trouble, I know. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You can't draw that up.
Well, that's your tough guy.
Yeah.
And he got neutralized.
Yeah.
That guy ran roughshod all over the SEC. Not here. Truth. Tip of the cap to Iowa. That was a hell of a win. So I pissed off the USF fans and the Gator fans this morning. Is that correct?
It seems as such that you did that.
No, it's okay. Truth hurts. But listen, the Gators were fantastic. And they just won a national championship. I mean, you can't win them all.
They're okay.
They're good. They're going to be fine. They're going to be just fine. And except Todd Golden.
What about Todd Golden?
Vegas has him as the top pick to replace Hubert Davis.
Yeah.
Well, there ain't many jobs you're leaving Florida for. That's for damn sure. You can count them on one hand. But North Carolina might be one of them.
Maybe.
Or is that too old school?
I just don't. Maybe it's a Hubert Davis thing. Maybe he just sort of like ruined it all for me and had the way I feel about North Carolina. But like, I don't want to say it's like, not that I don't view them in that top tier anymore, but certainly I think a little bit of a rung lower.
But just, by the way, and USF fans, you could take some solace if this does happen. Even programs like Florida lose coaches to other places. It can happen.
Well, regardless if he leaves or goes, they're going to be fine.
Yeah. Whoever's coming in will be.
Exactly.
You'll have the pick of the litter for sure. No doubt. And a lot of money to work with. All right, we're going to take our break. There we give you 41 minutes uninterrupted. Thank you to all of our great sponsors here, including the great folks at Genesis of Tampa. And I sit here as your very pleased owner of a new GV70. Not new.
I saw that when I came in. I said, is that Peterson?
Yeah. Yeah. It's one of those cars I was like, I can't afford that thing. They made me a great deal.
Yeah, you make it work.
They made me a great deal. Yeah, I mean, they stretched a little bit for greatness. You want to stretch. I think it's, I ain't getting any younger. I want to, after my last bad experience with cars, the car I was driving, I did not like. But this one is fabulous. This GV70 is it's the ultimate comfort and ride. The technology is off the freaking charts. I got a great deal on a pre-owned car. It's absolutely brand spanking new. That's what it feels like to me. Absolutely. The way they prep these cars and I got a great deal. It's Genesis of Tampa. They're always having, you can register for the Pot of Gold in March. It's $500. And if you go in there and do a test drive, they're always got something going on that's great for the customers. But the best thing is they sell you great cars at a great price, and it's a fantastic experience. So thanks to Jordan and John and everyone. It was great experience. I do recommend it. If I can get it, you can get it. So go check it out. Genesis Tampa, absolutely off the chain. All right, back in 3. Stay with us. Here for Pitch Roofing, one of our new sponsors and the most reliable and honest roofers in the business. They love the Lightning, and Bolts fans be entered to win a pair of premium Mark Club seats with every free roofing estimate from Pitch Roofing. Seats include food and beverages, early access, premium entry, and a backstage tour of Lightning Vision with yours truly. Always get 2 to 3 estimates when replacing your roof, and be sure to include Pitch as one of those roofing companies. With a free estimate from Pitch, they're not trying to hard sell you. They educate you on your roof and the process. Even if you do not choose Pitch Roofing as your roofer, they want to leave you feeling informed, knowing the different materials and manufacturers, and understanding the process and warranties. Very, very important. Pitch is an Owens Corning preferred contract, Better Business Bureau accredited, and My Safe Florida Home approved. That's very important as well. Pitch prides themselves on full transparency and customer first level of service. They also offer financing options, including 0% plans, ensuring a stress-free experience. Call my friends at Pitch Roofing, 727-67-PITCH. That's 727-677-4824, or go to pitchroofing.com.
Pitch Roofing, roofing done right.
As the Rays enjoy being back in their Tropicana Field home this season that was ravaged by Hurricane Milton, Italiano Insurance wants to remind us all how important it is to be properly insured. 40% of you are underinsured. That can mean financial disaster. Let the experienced and friendly agents at Italiano shop your policies for the best price and the right coverage. Italiano saved me over $1,000 on our auto insurance last year, over $500 on our homeowners insurance. They can do the same for you. That's a grand slam. Might as well get a double play by adding flood insurance and business insurance to your portfolio. Cost less than you think, and trust me, you do not want to risk your home or personal wealth. That's a whiff. So step up to the plate and call 813-877-7799 and chat with our all-star agents at Italiano Insurance, or call our Boca Grande office at 941-964-0400. JP here for Riveters, the official sports bar and grill of the JP Peterson Show. We're located just south of Ray J and Steinbrenner Field, so it's a great pre- and post-game spot, and the happy hour is amazing. Monday through Friday, 3 to 7. Check out these specials. $3 Bud Light drafts, $4 domestic bottles, $5 wells, $6 premium wells, $6 cocktails like margaritas. That's unheard of. And the Riveters food is freshly made daily. No freezers. Happy hour food specials include $3.50 tacos and barbecue sliders. $6 you get edamame or chips with the beer cheese, which is amazing. $8 buffalo chicken dip, my favorite. The truffle fries, chili cheese fries, also $8 at happy hour. As well as other specials throughout the week, including Taco Tuesdays, you get $3 tacos, and Wing Wednesdays, 7 o'clock to 1 a.m. in the morning, you get our amazing wings, 5 for $5 and $5 wells and wines. That's a good Wednesday night. So if you're tired of the preppy, overpriced, generic sports bars, come see the amazing, friendly bartenders and staff at Riveters, where customer service really matters. Riveters, just south of where the Rays and Bucks play. We'll see you there. Hey, the Golden Diamond Source wants to be your family jeweler, so don't wait any longer to find that one-of-a-kind perfect engagement ring for that special someone in your life. At the Golden Diamond Source, they can design anything you want personally. The Golden Diamond Source can help you trade in your old broken jewelry and use it towards a new purchase as well. And with gold prices at record high, now is the best time to do it. They only sell natural diamonds at the Golden Diamond Source, so if it's a real love, it should be a real natural diamond. Don't start your relationship with a fake diamond. Bad idea. And with the Golden Diamond Source first-time buyer program, you can learn all about the 4 C's in all the different shapes and styles. And they are able to show you a huge selection of inventory to choose from. And don't forget, 0% financing for up to 5 years. If you finance $5,000, it's only $83 a month. Make sure it's a Golden Diamond Source diamond, 3800 Almerton Road, always online at goldendiamond.com.
It's a love you give only at Golden Diamond Source.
Hey, lots going on at Genesis of Tampa, selling amazing vehicles and doing great things in the community. And March is Gray Bull Rescue Military Appreciation Month. A portion of all vehicle purchases go towards a donation to Gray Bull Rescue, who recently saved dozens of Americans from the cartel violence in Mexico. A great organization. St. Patrick's Day is coming up. Wear green, buy green, save green. Wear green to Genesis of Tampa on St. Patrick's Day, March 17th, for $500 off any vehicle in stock. Buy anything green, that's green in color, the cars, SUVs, you get $1,000 off. Also, buy a vehicle between March 14th and 17th, and you'll be entered to win a trip to Ireland on us. How about that? Of course, Genesis vehicles are the best in class for value, technology, luxury. And there's a National Genesis Signature event going on currently to get 1.9% financing. Limitations apply. Whether it's the G70, G80, 90 sedans, or the incredible SUV lineup, take a test drive and see what everyone is talking about. It's special. Genesis of Tampa, 801 East Bears Avenue. Tell them JP sent you.
Let's go. Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show on this beautiful Monday. Once again, a gorgeous morning. I take my walk along the boardwalk on Tampa Bay. Those goddamn manatees and dolphins. Every morning, it's the same goddamn thing. I'm walking along the water with Tally throwing the ball. And here comes the dolphins and the manatee just splashing around.
You're just so inconvenienced.
God.
You're so inconvenienced.
It's so beautiful. It never gets old. I'm like taking videos and like it's the 70th dolphin video you've made.
You know
what
what real inconvenience is?
I'm joking.
Our home backs up to like the woods and everything, and so we got a little pond too. So we got like 1 million ducks back there, and I've turned into quite the duck guy, and I take it very serious. I have at one point I had 10 ducks coming up to my back porch. And I started buying food. I put it in the Chewy rotation with the dog food.
Oh, wow.
And I was feeding the ducks. Well,
you're ordering duck food now?
I'm ordering duck food, yeah.
Wow.
But it opens
Nature has a strange way of attracting you. It really does.
But I opened up a whole can of worms because ducks are not the only thing coming to my back porch now.
Oh, that's right.
It's these damn cranes. And when these cranes,
the sandhill cranes?
It's stupid sandhill cranes, man.
Oh.
And these things,
they're beautiful, but damn, are they loud.
Oh, F them. When they don't get their food, when they go out there and there's no food, well, they want to start pecking at my back at my screen. That's inconvenience.
No good deed goes unpunished.
Yeah, and then I send Riley out there, to scare them off. But what then they do? They start making that loud noise.
Oh,
yeah.
It's so bad.
That's inconvenience.
That's it. Okay, so nature can be a pain in the ass as well. Yes, as well. No, it never gets old for me. Like I've seen 1 million manatees and dolphin, but it never gets old. I love it. So beautiful. All right, let's get to some comments here before we jump in around some other things. Alejandro, good morning to you, says the Lightning seem to be back on track. And aside from the loss to the Flames, they look good and glad they beat the Oilers with Cooch surpassing Connor McDavid. Does this leave him first in the Hart Trophy race? For God's sake, I saw a lot of stuff over the weekend from national spitting chicklets. Everybody is celebrating the ridiculous numbers that Kucherov is putting up right now. I've been telling you guys this for years and years and years. Like, enjoy what you're watching. This is one of the greatest players in the history of the game.
This is a generational talent.
Generational talent. And he's in his prime right now. I don't think he's ever been better. what is it? 94 points now and 30.
I got the whole.
I'll give you the.
Let's run through it.
Okay.
Let's run through it. He had, after he had a point, he only had a point last night.
Jesus, slump.
Jeez, man. But before that, he had 93 points in his last 45 games, most points by an NHL player over a 45 game span since Mario Lemieux in 1995-1996.
Considered one of the greatest seasons in
either
history.
Yeah, and either the second greatest or the greatest player of all time, Mario Lemieux.
Yep.
First player with 75 points over a 33 game span since Mario Lemieux.
Right.
Players in league history with 40 goals and 100 assists in a season. We already know that was Gretzky, Lemieux, and Kucherov got that a couple years ago. And then he joined Gretzky and Lemieux as the only players in league history of 5 consecutive 3-point games on the road. And then how about this one yesterday? I saw this one. He has had over the last 5 seasons, 78 3-point games. He's had 66 0-point games.
So he's more likely to have a 3-point game than be shut out.
Correct.
That's insane in hockey.
Think about that.
That's insane.
And this year now he's officially passed McDavid and the points total, and he's done it in 7 less games.
And we're still talking about Celebrini.
I would love to give the heart to Celebrini because San Jose, if you look at like the point differential between him and the next highest, I get it. But this guy is just a different beast right now.
Come on. After you robbed him last year.
Oh, he's been robbed multiple. He only has one Hart trophy.
Right. Yeah. I mean, come on.
And by the way, in his place in like NHL history, like, I don't know if this is like bias in me talking, but Ovechkin, has 900 goals and everything. And I think he just got his 1,000 when you include playoffs and whatnot. But like, it's at least, is it a discussion by the time it's over of who's the greatest Russian of all time between those two guys? 2 very different players, so it's hard to compare.
In the dictionary of stat patter, there's Ovechkin. It just, come on. He never turned down a shot he could take.
Right.
I mean, at some point, winning has to come into it, right? And I know he won a cup. I know it. I know he won a cup, and his game matured over the years. That's for sure. And I don't want to bash Ovechkin. He's I'm
not doing that either.
I'm not bashing him. I'm just saying when you look at the totality of their games, give me Kucherov.
Yeah, maybe the Ovechkin that came into the league.
Yeah,
that was a different specimen that we had not seen. But
what is Ovechkin? 41 now.
Yeah.
So that's 10 more years for Kucherov.
Yeah,
what did his numbers look
he
like?
plays a style of play that is aging pretty well.
Yeah. Now, people will still tell you, Kuch will disappear in the playoffs, and there's some.
He definitely did last year.
There's some, but he also has a couple of cups. But I think, you know what? I need to see more. I need to see him make a couple more playoff runs and dominate.
Yeah, I want this version in a playoff round. I want this version. Mm-hmm. That's where you get to the next level as a when you talk about legacy and things like that.
That's right. And that's where his game
I don't want to see him get pushed around,
or pout.
I
think there's a feeling of against the Panthers, like enough was enough. And maybe because
I ain't going to see him this year.
Yeah, I know. But I think that maybe there was some feeling of, hey guys, like, we got to push back, but this is not my department. Right?
Right.
Like, who's protecting me?
Well, if you look at the way they played this year,
well, I think that was an organizational answer.
I mean, anybody brushes Vasilevsky or Johansson, and the Lightning are ready to just throw hands. And I think they lead the league in fights by like a healthy margin this year. Like, they think they got the memo that they're not going to be pushed around.
Well, he was right, and you still shouldn't pout, but he was right.
Right.
He had reason, if that makes any. So I look, that's history. Let's see what this team does. And this road trip was a wake-up call.
Yes.
Big time. 7 points out of 8. Get the overtime loss last night, but come back in a game where they created, I don't know, 1,009 danger chances. Cooley was insane. Johansson made some big saves, but Lord, like, man, does this team play shitty defense in front of him or what?
I feel bad for him because, like, we get it. Like, Johansson lets in his fair share of softies.
He does.
But welcome to being a backup goaltender in the NHL.
Yeah.
But this guy has it so difficult where he plays once every 2-3 weeks, it feels like, usually on the back end of a back-to-back. A lot of travel associated with that, a lot on the road. He just always gets like the crap spot on the schedule. He's probably not as sharp as he'd want to be. And then it just seems like the Lightning pick the worst times to have the absolute worst defensive coverage you've ever seen every time he's in net. And last night was pretty embarrassing.
Embarrassing. Like the goals he gave up, the Backlund goal in the second period, like Moser comes back, like a freight train. He hustles back, and then goes to the same side of the ice as Radish. And Radish
three guys on one guy.
Three guys on the right side of the ice. The entire 2/3 of the other ice on the backside is wide open for Backlund. I mean, there's nobody near him.
Yeah.
And he just skates right in and whips
at the time to uncork a slapper. You never see those nowadays anymore from there. I think it shocked Johansson, honestly.
Yeah, well, I mean, he was like almost like 3 feet away from him when he slapped it.
He came all the way out like what you do, cut off the angle, and he was like really low because you're not expecting – the last thing you're expecting is a slap shot like from that distance. Because
there was nobody near him. Yeah. The guy could just wind up and just blast it in the middle of the circle.
Yeah. And
it went right through him, obviously, so – that was embarrassing. There was another one in the slot right before that. Which goal was that? A Morgan Frost goal, where two guys go to the puck carrier in the corner, and just let Frost just come right down the slot, and everybody's just like watching him, and he he goes top shelf and hits right under the bar. It's like great shot. Plus he was wide freaking open, and Corey Perry's just watching him skate right by.
Yeah,
I mean, come on, guys. What are we doing?
I cut him
we already got our points on this road trip. I mean, come on.
I mean, to me, they did well to even get 1 point out of that game.
I know.
And when you win 7 out of 8, or you get 7 points out of 8 on a road trip like that, the way they've been playing, they needed this. Now,
I know I'm kind of bitching, but they did well to get
They beat up on some really bad hockey teams. The Pacific Division, as Connor McDavid called it the other night, it's a pillow fight. And it showed. But the Lightning needed that. They needed to get their confidence back. They needed to get their game back. And in a way, going at the West Coast and facing, some of the worst teams in the league, it did wonders for them. So maybe they've found something here as they come back home.
Hey, can you find the Connor McDavid quotes, by the way?
Yes.
We got to talk about this. So listen, I know I sound a little disgusted with a couple of those goals last night, but Radish, man, that he gets a goal last night, and it was lovely. Kucherov fed him. He blasts one about 98, but from the top of the circle. Then they work it around a little bit later. Kuch just feathers another one. Now he's like inside the circle, and he blasts another one. That was his 19th goal of the season. Darren Radish cannot leave Tampa Bay. I think.
No, you can't afford to let him go.
And I don't need to take JBB that.
The McDavid comments the other night. He was talking about the Lightning and specifically John Cooper. He said they have a great system. They're perfectly coached. They all know what they're doing all over the ice. It's impressive. They're a great team. They're extremely well coached, extremely well organized. They're very rehearsed in everything they do. It's very impressive. And when you can't break them down, they have a heck of a goalie to backstop them. We've been playing together for a long time, and we feel like we're somewhat rehearsed and organized. Not today, though.
Man, sounds like Cooper is doing some wooing at the Olympics.
He's a free agent in 2 years.
And he just took like a really friendly deal.
Yeah.
And wasn't there a little bit of scuttlebutt about him coming to Tampa?
Well, there was scuttlebutt just in general of him maybe leaving Edmonton because even though they've made back-to-back Stanley Cup finals and they ran into the buzzsaw known as the Florida Panthers, it just feels like they've maxed it as far as they can go. And this year in particular,
it's a setback.
The roster is just not there. They still can't figure out the goaltender situation. Now Draisaitl's out for the rest of the regular season, and you're seeing what it looks like without him out there. I mean, I don't want to say you feel bad for McDavid, but geez.
Well, coming to a Benchmark International Arena near you.
Yeah, he'll be 31. He's got plenty of time to go.
And Cooch together. How many goals would he have?
Goodness, man.
How many goals would McDavid have with Cooch? Playing on the line with Cooch.
Do you even play them together? I think you put them separately. You just have probably 2 lines that are just absolutely humming.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'd kind of like to see it, though.
Who do we gotta send who do we gotta send packing to make it happen? Because pretty much anybody's on the table.
There'll be some space opening up. Yeah. Well, you have to pay him. You can get away with paying him 20-30% less here in Tampa. Plus, he clearly wants to come play for John Cooper or whatever Coop did over the Olympics.
Who doesn't want to play for
whatever the kind of romancing he did? Well done. How do you? That's like cheating right in front of your wife. That's like, hey, honey. Wow. I don't know how well received that must have been.
Imagine being knob-block in that situation.
Oof. Wow. Ouch, babe. But thank you. We have a super chat, $19.99 from Jimmy J. Voyager. Buying us lunch at Riveters. Thank you, Jimmy J. Said, hey, JP, I love Brody Brazil, and I don't blame him, but I feel like he's getting a lot of negative and inaccurate information about the Rays Stadium situation. Would you join him again to set the record straight? Yeah, we had to set him straight on that, on the sale and all that stuff. Well, and we love Brody. Been on the show. Good dude. Really like him. But his shtick is just basically, he doesn't do any original reporting here in Tampa. He regurgitates what he's reading in the Times. And I think you don't want to hear me talk about it? Let my friend Nick talk about it. The Times have declared. They have declared who they're voting for. And it ain't DeSantis. And it's not this Rays ownership group, which is obviously conservative. This is a group that skews far left, and they don't like anything about the Rays, and they don't like anything about Tampa. They don't want the stadium here. They don't like this ownership group. They finally wrote something nice about Ken Babby the other day, which was a Q&A answer, and the same canonization treatment that they gave Stu Sternberg. So yeah, and I guess we could, but even that was like so dry. It was like they begrudgingly did it, So listen, and so Brody's just repeating that. So I will reach out to him. I will reach out to him, and at this point we'll do. I tell you what, we'll take another break. We'll come back on the other side, and I'll give you, what Rays Stadium update. I don't need breaking news or anything like that. I'm gonna, I don't like teasing stuff like that. So, but I could, kind of give you where it's at right now and what's going to happen probably in the next couple of weeks. I think I have a pretty good grasp on that. So we'll take a break. We'll do that. We'll come back with your comments as well. We got to get to there's much more basketball to talk about. Valspar, number 2, incredible experience out there this week. So yeah, that's coming up next. We are brought to you by the great folks at Riveters, the aforementioned Riveters, where we may go for lunch today. Thanks to Jimmy J. Voyager. Anybody else want to send us super chats? We'd love to read them. But Riveters, the best place to hang out and watch March Madness, indoor, outdoor, right? The weather is absolutely phenomenal now. So it's great to kind of hang out in their outside area. The best food, the ribeye tacos, absolutely fantastic ribeye sandwich. The chicken wings are just off the chart. Everything you'll love about Riveters, the staff and the food and everything. Riveters, right there on Dale Mabry, just north of 275, south of the stadium. Back in 3. Well, the folks at Third Generation Plumbing and AC want to say thanks for making them so dadgum busy. Of course, advertising on your favorite Tampa Bay sports talk show helps, but it's their incredible customer service, honesty, and integrity that have earned them tons of 5-star reviews. And now you could be part of the team at Third Generation. Yes, they are so slammed, they need to hire more certified AC technicians and plumbers. It's a great family business to work for. My buddy John Rodriguez runs an old school family business since 1995. They pay well, give you all the holidays off, and they offer great benefits. No cold corporate atmosphere here. You're part of the family. If this sounds cool to you, call them and apply at 813-961-8024, or you can email your resume in at thirdgenerationplumbing.com. Just go to the website, you'll see the button, email them, or call them at 813-961-8024. And don't forget about the $169 yearly maintenance special. It's a no-brainer, guys. thirdgenerationplumbing.com, and they also do AC.
Ciao, Paolo Tini here, owner of Caffè Paradiso, voted number 3 People's Choice Award on Open Table. I want to thank all our loyal family of customers that have been enjoying our great traditional Italian dishes we make from scratch every day. It's a great family story we're proud of. Our family moved from Rimini, Italy in 1984. My dad, Caesar, started Donatello, and that's where I got the start in the restaurant business. I started Caffè Paradiso on South McDill in 1995, and we've been there ever since. From our traditional ossobuco, a veal slow roast for 4 hours, to our daily fresh catch, the Gruppo Paradiso, with a piccata sauce and lobster claw meat, homemade pasta like lasagna, farfalle salchicha, which is a bow tie pasta homemade with fresh sausage. Hold on a minute, JP's favorite.
I love it.
So come and have a glass of wine with me on South McDill. Get a reservation on Open Table and see all our 5-star reviews. Ciao, see you soon at Paradiso.
Welcome to Kingmakers, home of the JP Peterson Show studio and Tampa's premier business networking and social club for members only. By day, it's an exclusive, vibrant co-working space with a stylish conference room, focus rooms, a full production studio, and an in-house marketing team. And by night, Kingmakers transforms into a sports-centric social hub with a full sports bar, golf simulator, and exclusive events. For young entrepreneurs and seasoned professionals, it's the perfect place to work hard, play hard, and make big moves in Midtown Tampa. Close the deal, celebrate the win. Only at Kingmakers. Become a member today at kingmakerstampa.com. Your business, your club.
Sports fans, it's time to gear up. Head to fanstreamsports.com and check out our brand new merchandise store. We're talking bold t-shirts, 3/4 zips, hoodies, hats, mugs, and more. Everything you need to rep your favorite shows and your favorite crew. Whether you're rolling with the JP Peterson Show in Tampa Bay, From the Rough in Dallas, the Tim May Show featuring Clay Hall, or the Jeff Thidoff Show in Ohio, or any of our FanStream Sports original programming, we've got the perfect look for game day and every day. So don't wait. fanstreamsports.com. Click merch and grab your gear now. Wear the stream, live the stream, fanstreamsports.com.
Hey, JP here for my concierge medical professional, Chris Lugo, PA. You've heard him on the show for a couple of years where he shares invaluable medical, nutritional, and supplement advice. With Chris, it's like having a medical provider as your best friend. What I love about this concierge service is the convenience and support he offers. I can text or call him 24/7 with any questions or concerns, and he'll promptly call in a prescription if needed. No office visits or copays required. It gives me peace of mind knowing I have someone genuinely invested in my health, not just focused on insurance profits. And the best part, the Bay Area Modern Medical Center's personal concierge service is more affordable than you might think. Don't let insurance companies dictate your health care. Take control of your health and wellness today. Visit BAMMC.com for more information and to schedule your initial free consultation. Empower yourself and take charge of your personal health with BAMMC.com.
Let's go. Right now. Back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show on this Monday with Nick Geddes from On3 Sports. Hope you guys are enjoying the local flavor to the show that we always try to give you each and every day. Brought to you by the great folks at Italiano. All those companies you see down there are great local companies. We love to champion our local companies here and all they do in our community. Italiano, right at the top of the list. They've been with me for 15, 20 years, I believe. Julie and Steve Weintraub, absolute Tampa Bay treasures. Their business is a treasure. They are treasures. And they support everything about our sporting teams. And, of course, they do great business at the Golden Diamond Source. So, and Italiano Insurance as well. All these great companies. So go use their services and tell them JP sent you. All right, Nick, you want to get to some other comments here?
Let's do it.
I'll first, before we do that, let's get to the Rays stuff.
Oh,
get to the Rays stuff. We have some movement today, right? We have, so Gavin Lux is going on the IL as well.
Yeah, I think I found the new Ha-Seong Kim here.
Damn.
A little real rude, maybe. Haven't seen him yet in a Rays uniform, but I don't know if I saw Ha-Seong Kim in a Rays uniform either, to be honest with you. But
yeah, he was right, in and out pretty quick.
Yeah, right shoulder impingement. Don't ask me what that means. You might know. You've had a lot of injuries.
I have a lot of impingements on a daily basis.
So
I've impinged.
I don't feel like we saw much of Gavin Lux in spring training. It sounded like he's been dealing with an injury all
Boy, the big
season.
additions for Eric Neander
They're interesting, aren't they? But
Nick Martinez had quite the day yesterday.
I get to him, yeah. But Lux IL sounds like Palacios, who was sent down, is now going to make the opening day roster. Walls is already on the IL.
Oblique.
With the oblique.
Oblique.
I mean, yeah. You've missed his defense, let's be honest.
Yeah.
I appreciate his defense.
Yeah, we're just moving on.
Yeah. But yeah, that'll open up the door for Carson Williams, I think, to be the full-time starter at short.
And listen, I'm okay with that. In fact, I'm better than okay with that. I just think this is, I know you want to win right now. Every year's about winning, but it just seems like we need to see Carson Williams either fail or start to develop.
Yeah.
I think it's time for that.
Yeah, and I think he took, spring training, but I think he took strides. He didn't strike out a lot in spring training. I think at the time, last Monday, the last time I looked, he had like 4 strikeouts this year.
His plate discipline is way better.
He was hitting like 364. So hopefully he could build off of that. And then, second base, what happens there? I think it's probably going to be some sort of platoon situation between Ben Williamson and Ryan Velotti, who made the roster out of camp.
Who's been good?
But he's really good.
You like him?
In fact, they play today. The Rays do against who do they play today? Oh, the Phillies. They play the Phillies today, and the lineup to me sort of reads like an opening day lineup. So
please,
Yandy leading off at DH.
Where's Chandler Simpson?
I'll get to him. Velotti hitting second, batting second. Jonathan Ronda hitting third, playing first. Today, Williamson's playing third and hitting cleanup. I'm just going to say that's the placeholder for Junior.
Mm-hmm.
Fraley batting fifth, playing right.
Mm-hmm.
Fortes batting sixth, catching. Mullins, seventh, center. Carson Williams, short, eighth, and Chandler in the 9-hole and left. Reads to me like an opening day lineup.
When you have Chandler Simpson, Yandy should not be leading off. I don't effing get this. He's an RBI guy.
No, he's not. He's a power hitter. He hit his first home run over the fence the other day.
Chandler, right?
He should be hitting in the 4-hole.
Come on. I do not want to see him. What are we doing? Chandler hit 300 from the right side last year. Like, what are we doing? No,
they love Yandy in the leadoff spot. I love that.
I want to have the analytic geek on this show that is poisoning Kevin Cash's mind with this horrible idea. He's the prototypical 2-hitter.
I like him in both spots though. Like, I don't hate him in the 9-hole. Like,
he clogs up the bases. We don't have power hitters. We got to move.
I agree with that. I understand what you're saying. I think he could do the same thing in the 9-hole that he can do in the 1-hole. He can get on base, and then all of a sudden, here comes all the heavy hitters.
Orestes said it, and he said it well. If he bats around 300 and gets 500 at bats, almost 600 at bats if you're leading off, right? That's at least 170 hits, 180 hits, right? You're on base. He's going to steal 75 bags. He's an automatic double. Whenever he gets on, he's added bunt to his repertoire. I mean, he's going to score 120 runs.
It's just not the way. I know you're going to hate this, but it's just not the way people view the game anymore.
That's bullshit.
I think they love, like last year you had the Phillies. They were putting Kyle Schwarber in the leadoff spot. Like, it's just sort of what a lot of teams like to do now.
That's again, and I don't care what your numbers say, your analytics. I'm sorry. It just give me a true leadoff guy that can run and bothers pitchers and forces more fastballs for the guys behind him. I've seen it all my life with the great ones, and I'm not coming off that. Not coming off that. I'm going to die on that hill.
Another Rays note. Who looked really good in their last spring outing was Sugar Shane.
Oh, Sugar Shane.
Sugar Shane looks. You look ready to go to me.
Yeah.
What a successful spring training for him.
I think his 97-mile-an-hour fastball, he controls it more, and it has more movement on it. And he's a better pitcher.
Yeah.
Throwing it 85%. Yeah, everything.
Yeah, and that was, I think it was a big mental hurdle for him. And I think you could tell, like, it was a sigh of relief for him when he finally threw his last pitch of spring training and he realized, wow, I made it. I feel good. Yeah. I'm back. Like, let's go. And I can't wait. He's going to probably start the first game in the Trop.
He's on pace. Yeah.
I mean, that's going to be just fantastic. I mean, that's going to be like, you got to be there. Sugar Shane's first game back in almost 3 years, the first game in the Trop in a year and a half, and you're facing a team like the Chicago Cubs. I mean, what? Come on.
Yeah. That is phenomenal. That's what baseball is meant to be right there.
Speaking of other pitchers who did not have such a great spring.
Nick Martinez, 0-4 with a 14.49 ERA this spring. Now, nobody's evaluating anybody based solely on their spring training, but he was 11-15 last year with a 4.46 ERA. He has a career 4.16 ERA, 48-59. He's a good pitcher, but you signed him as your highest paid player, and you devoted $13 million to a number 4 or 5 starter when you had guys like Joe Boyle and Ian Seymour and other arms, way cheaper arms in your system that need time to grow.
I'll do you one better. If you wanted a veteran,
don't get it.
If you wanted a veteran, I don't know how many times we said it on here. Zach Littell.
Zach Littell. For half the money.
1 year, $7 million to go pitch for the worst team in baseball.
But he said something mean about the Rays fans.
Did he?
He did. He didn't really say anything mean about the Rays fans, but he did compliment the Baltimore fans.
No, that was Eflin.
I thought that was Littell.
No, that was Eflin.
Okay, Eflin.
That's why Rays fans were anti-Eflin coming back.
Either one of them. I always got them confused because they're both like really good older right-handers that get the job done.
Littell's a great 5.
Oh my God!
5.
Plus, he was
Martinez,
a great force in the clubhouse.
Yeah, he was a leader. I talked about that a lot. But Martinez, it seems like now I understand the intangible part of it. It sounds like I think Kevin Cash has been very vocal already about the leadership that Martinez brings, and Terry Francona, him and Kevin Cash love each other. And there was a thing there. So I got that. I just don't know why it had to cost you $13 million. Not my money.
Who are they bidding
but
against?
It's just
$13 million.
It's not my money. It's just
Who else was
interesting for a team that doesn't just hand out $13 million to anybody. I'm like, that's it. That's the guy. Like, again, I don't want to overreact over spring training, but when you give up 22 earned runs in 13 innings, I'm paying attention.
Yeah, it's like, well, we need him to eat innings. Well, if he's giving up a home run per inning, it's really not worth it, is it?
Like, like the way he was pitching against Toronto, Vladdy's just serving up meatballs to these guys. Like, there's just no bite on anything.
Well, it is spring.
He's
a veteran.
It's spring. did you need 2? You brought in Mats already.
I know. And you got better arms.
I'd have a short leash for them personally, but you paid him $13 million. Still got to pay him. So I don't know.
I just don't get that at all. All right, as far as the Rays Stadium goes, there's a lot of negativity out there. Almost all of it just bred by TBT. But there is some. I think there's some substance to a lot of the things that the questions that the Rays have not answered yet to the TSA. I think there's some meat there, but I also think this is a natural part of negotiation, and I also think it's a natural part of moving parts. And do I think that the 2029 timeline, very ambitious timeline, is catching up with them? Yes, I do. And I just think these things take longer than the Rays want them to. And it may be where they just have to say, okay, all right, we got to get our plan better. We need more time to put this thing together. And I don't know. I don't know where Ken Babby is on that. I do know he wants to get it done now. And I understand that. But I also understand that we've got to get it right. We got to get it right. And there has to be, if you don't have answers to all these questions, and I think the Rays understand this. It's not like, I don't think but I don't know how much of this hasn't been communicated back to the TSA. So the bottom line is there are a lot of unanswered questions, and they're big questions. And I think they're unanswered because the project is still evolving. I think it's very much evolving. Like, who's going to pay for what in terms of, is this part of the stadium? Is it not part of the stadium? If it's not going to be part of the stadium, okay, then we can value engineer, as Ken Hagan said the other day, and we can bring the 2.3 down to maybe 1.9, which means makes the public part much more palatable. The Rays can come up with more money, but that takes time as well. So, and when is each segment of this development going to be done? You can only build so much in such, in terms of construction resources and logistics. You got to get the stadium done first. You got to get the village around the stadium done, probably the hotel. That's probably the first thing. Then, and simultaneously the college needs to be built on the other side of the property. Now, all the other mixed use, that'll probably come later, which means that revenue back to the city and the county will come later. So when does that come? Do we need to bond out? Do we not? Can we pay as we go? There's a lot of moving parts to this thing. And I think the roof has been a little bit of an issue, because I think they went in thinking there would be a certain type of roof they could use, and now they've learned that they can't do that, the translucent roof, and they may need to do a more truss type, which will save them money as well. So there's a lot of moving parts to this, and I know everybody will say, "Oh, well, they don't know what this is," and they don't. No, they don't. This is the proposal part. This is the negotiation part. There, by definition, there are not going to be answers to a lot of these questions yet, but we're getting there. That's why the vote's not going to be until the 15th. That gives them 3 weeks more to figure a lot of this stuff out. So, as I told you months ago, this is going to be the ugly making of the sausage part, and it's going to get rough, and now we don't need to, thrust all this negativity upon it. Like every day we have to have answers on this. And if we don't have answers, the whole thing's going to hell. I mean, I think that's where the feeling is for a lot of these politicians now are getting cold feet. It's like, let's relax. This stuff takes time. It may take longer than we think, but we got to get it right. So I think it's time for us to stop reporting on every little, micro thing that drops and happens. And when it does, say, oh, it's a disaster. No, it's not. This is just part of how it gets done. So I just say, relax, let the people do the work that need to do the work. And we'll get through this, because there's money there. There's a great opportunity here. I'll say it again. Why give billionaires money? Because they bring you money back. If you want more money for roads and stuff and all this other stuff, then get this deal done. Because when you put $8 to $10 billion in investment into a mixed-use project, this Raysville project, you get, according to some projections, $4 to $5 billion back. So if you want money for all these things that you say you want money, then invest in this and do the deal. And be able to keep your Major League Baseball team, which I think is a huge asset for this community. So it can be a good deal. There's reasons to invest. If somebody said, hey, you have $1 billion to invest and you'll get 5 back, would you do it? I would think you would. Is there risk? There's always risk. Nobody knows where where this world's going to be. Hey, the aliens are coming in 2027. So what are we even doing? So, but as best you can, this is a great opportunity. 10 other cities that line up for this if Hillsborough and Tampa screwed this up. So don't screw it up. All right, what else we got here? Let's get to some of our commenters, shall we? How far back do we want to go? Alejandro also said, I think JP, them bringing Derek Brooks, that's USF, as COO of USF Athletic Program shows that USF is getting serious about sports. The new stadium for football will be nice, and I will go to games when it opens. Yeah. This is not the same old South Florida. And even Brian Hodgson leaving is a great step, showing that we're getting great coaches because people want to come here now. That wasn't always the case. It's become a desired job, and is it still a stepping stone? Yeah, it is. So, and that's not, that's just part of the process. And when you get to P4 or P2, where LHF it's going to be, and I think USF will get there if you keep winning. If you keep hiring good coaches and surrounding them with support, financial support, NIL support, fan support, then it should keep going that way. Right Brain Barikua said, great segue to the baseball team. Well done, Nick. Talk about USF. Very good job. Baseball team doesn't get enough credit, and they have local talent here as well, as they should heavily recruit. Yeah, I've always wondered why USF's baseball program isn't better. For all the coaching and the talent that comes out of here.
Yeah, they're legit this year too. They've had two 3-game series against Power 4 competition, Illinois, and they won that series. And they beat my UCF Knights too, 2 out of 3. And UCF is also right there with them.
Yeah, in
terms of the ranking. So good teams that they're beating.
Danny Boy says, good morning, gentlemen. Rays baseball is back on Thursday at St. Louis, 4:15. How about that?
And then we take a day off.
Yeah. Friday, there'll be no baseball.
It bothers me so much.
John Hill says the Iowa Hawkeye head coach outcoached the Gators. Charles Barkley's postgame stated poor strategy by the Gators in the defense. No, their strategy was good. They just didn't execute. I thought their strategy was great because Golden wanted to foul and put one of their role players on the line up 72-70. You foul him. He's got it. The best he can do is make 2, and you still have a shot to win in regulation. And then you go to overtime, where I think the Gators felt pretty good because they had kind of started to impose their will in the second half. And I think if they go to overtime, Florida wins that game. Fair?
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
So I think their strategy was sound at the end. Their execution was not. And tip of the cap to Iowa. They were better. Rick says Sandhill Cranes are bullies.
You had another comment too that I'm laughing at.
What's that?
I shouldn't be laughing. He said, I hope JP is okay after
Sorry.
hope JP's okay after the Valspar. What was he doing running over that poor girl back off the gummies Elway?
Did somebody get run over?
Did you not? I didn't see this. It happened on Saturday. I was
there. We both were there on Saturday.
And I saw it after the fact. There was one of those carts, because there were a lot of carts, going around.
Yeah.
And to be honest, they were it was a little Wild West, I thought, with the carts going around people that were everywhere. It was interesting.
It was a huge crowd on Saturday.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever seen it that crowded since Tiger.
Well, someone, as I understood, a lady got hit by a cart and stuck underneath it.
Oh!
And it happened right next to Brooks Koepka, and Brooks went over and was consoling her and helping her out and everything. And it
I did not know
temporarily paused play. I did not see it till after, because then Brooks was asked about it.
Wow.
But she is okay. That's what Brooks said, at least. So,
well, I did see his wife Jenna and the baby.
Yeah, she was everywhere.
Yeah. And because we walked with Brooks for a little bit, and somebody did say something about it. Somebody said, was there a baby involved?
I don't know. I never
because
really
this guy was like, "Hey, Brooks, you're a good dude. Stop it for that baby," or something with the baby. Yeah. And anyway, so he made a little bit of a run, but just couldn't do his thing. But
I guess it was a child. Yeah.
Well, yeah. See, it's weird because there are carts going all over the place.
Yeah, you gotta be very aware of what's going on around you.
Yeah, and the cart drivers, the kid could just flash right in front of you in a heartbeat. There's so many people around there, so that's bad. Is the kid okay?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Whew. St. Pete Pat says Florida never took advantage of their size inside. I think they did in the second half, but I think you're right. But as Golden mentioned, and we talked about, they were missing chippies. They missed a couple dunks. Lee missed a wide open layup. They put the putbacks weren't going in. It was kind of weird. It's kind of like a lid on the basket for a little while. Lonnie Wilkins says Gavin Lux, the Bilal replacement to the IL with shoulder impingement. Palacio is in now. We are so back. Yeah, Gavin Lux really. That's another weird. I mean, go get a light hitting short second baseman.
It's like they couldn't find the ideal replacement for Brandon Lau, and so they just floated Josh Lowe out there, and I guess that was Josh Lowe's value now, which Josh Lowe didn't do himself any favors. His value, all he did was hurt it, really.
Yeah, but it'll. I don't know if Lux is going to make that big of a difference. Go Millionaire said the new ownership group is extremely smart in their approach. Just to lessen the noise, have they considered donating to the TBT? The opposition journalism will be much more favorable if they donate. Like Stu. I hate to be that cynical.
I don't need a column every week about why this is the worst deal of all time and how we need to reject this, and
especially when they were gaga over the biggest boondoggle in St. Pete history, the Rays deal.
It's just, if you were
with a guy who was sued by his partners for fraud and I mean,
I'm exhausted. I just want to know, who are you writing this for? Because none of anything that was written was new. We all understand the hurdles here. We get it. We've read it. We know it. It's public information, but it's just continuous columns that are just regurgitating the same thing.
Yeah.
And then it gets pumped out there. And what does it do? It just gets people riled up, basically.
But what happens is nobody pays for the TBT, which is why they're in such financial disaster. And so they put out these salacious headlines, like the tennis thing. It's game, set, match for tennis center. Rays build new stadium.
Oh, that was hilarious.
Where if you read it, as Ken Babby pointed out, it says, yeah, we're replacing it with bigger and better facility at Al Lopez, a half a mile away. So why write that headline? If you get that, if you understand that it's not going, it's being relocated and bigger and better with lights, like, how do you write that headline? Because people read the headline, but they can't get past the paywall, so they never see the part of the story where Babby says, yeah, we're replacing it. Or they never see the part of the story where after they spend, a terrible, Rays need answers on $300 million, could add $300 million to the new roof, where there's quotes in there from Clendenin on the TSA and the city council. It says, yeah, I'm privileged to all the numbers and they all look pretty good. I'm optimistic it's going to get done. Paraphrasing. That quote right there, absolutely. Once you get that quote, you can't write that headline. That's the quote. That's the headline. But they can't say anything positive. Anything positive.
Nope.
Despite being all in on a boondoggle plan would have been horrible for St. Pete, and supporting an owner who told them they're not a major league city, St. Pete, and pointed the finger at the fans and all the other who behaved so poorly that Major League Baseball had to kick him out and force a sale. But we're supporting that guy over the new group. Okay. Sounds good to me. Good morning to you, Nathan Elliott. Call him the Petermans or I'll kill you. Hello to all the AI bots, degenerates, haters. What is wrong with you? Spectrum Cable has a Rays channel, 1152. That's right.
I have been wondering this. Because I am a Spectrum. I am a Spectrum
as am I
payer, and I've been paying attention because there's been like no information on it, and they kept saying like, oh, check back the week of, and then the latest that I saw in Topkins' article, I guess we're gonna know officially the day of Thursday, and I'm like, okay, wow, we're cutting this all the way to the end. I'm not sure why we can't get any answers earlier. I'm sure there's a reason, but I just don't know what it is because I wasn't really interested in paying for the subscription. I'm not into subscriptions to pay to watch my favorite team play. I'm just not.
It shouldn't be.
I hate that.
You're paying for Spectrum.
Huh?
You're paying for Spectrum.
Right. And I should be, through paying the money that I pay for Spectrum.
You should get the Rays games.
I've always had the Rays. And that was the reason why that I have Spectrum over YouTube TV or anything else, because it's like the only cable provider where you can watch the Rays and the Lightning.
That's right.
And not have to pay for what was Bally's used to have like a $30 a month thing. Like, I'm not doing that.
And have to.
And I want to be on one.
Stream it.
That's like the one. I mean, I have a lot of old man ticks, but that's the one that I'm very passionate about. I want a guide. And I want a button that says last on it. And I want to be able to go back and forth on one screen. I don't want to X out. I don't want to go look at the Roku homepage. I don't want to see a circle. I don't want my internet connection to go out and me having to check the connection on the Roku constantly. I don't want to deal with any of that.
I know.
I want one guide and I want one remote. And I want it all there.
Well said.
And I don't care.
Too much
I don't have to conform. Stop telling me that I need to get over it and get with the times. No, I don't.
No, I want cable TV.
I want cable TV.
Wired to my house.
I want a big remote that has buttons that I can see and that I can push.
And a DVR.
And a DVR.
Yes, a real DVR, not a cloud DVR.
No DVRs anymore.
No.
I got to pay extra to get DVR for my Spectrum package.
I know. It's brutal. And that was the best one because you could really go backwards and forwards like really efficiently. You didn't have to get the spin when you go back and forth. Hate the spin. Hate the spin. Lonnie Wilkins says, go to the Trop and find the guy with Sperry's, khakis, and comb over like Will Ferrell's brother and stepbrothers. You have found the Rays stat guy. They're all the same.
Did you just throw shots at Peter Bendix? Is that what I heard?
I think I did.
I feel like I just had Peter Bendix's face in my head. Miss you, Peter.
Just convince me. Show me the numbers. Show me the numbers why Chandler Simpson can't be our leadoff guy for 600 at-bats this year. And that's Orestes is with me on that. And he knows baseball. What else we got here? Brandon says, to be fair, Brody cited the Tampa Bay Business Journal, Central Florida Times, and the Times, which is how someone like him should be sourcing info. He mostly cites the Biz Journal, which is more than fair. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I think the Business Journal uses a lot of the stuff that comes out of the Times. Frankly, I mean, I could be wrong on that, but yeah. I don't understand why these things are always presented as massive problems instead of just part of the process. Like, you know, they don't have answers for these things yet. Therefore, it's a disaster. Well, that's part of the process. You don't just like, you know, oh, AI, build me a $10 billion Raysville with complete with plans and like, it doesn't work that way. You got to design this stuff and then it gets redesigned and then answers come in and then there's projections and then there's negotiations and then there's redos and then that's the process. So instead of just saying, oh, well, here's where the process is at right now, they're trying to get answers to this question. It's like the sky is falling. There's 3 dark clouds looking over the like, relax. It's just part of the process. What else we got here? Lonnie Wilkins says vibes for the Rays opener next week going to be incredible. Planning on hitting Fergs beforehand. Yeah, if you're going to a Rays opener, you got to get the Fergs, right?
I do feel really good about, I feel like awesome for like the Fergs owners that they get this. I mean,
this 3-year boon.
Yeah, I mean, last year had to have been tough on them for sure. So that place is going to be swamped. Next week.
Alex Nunn says, JP, did you see Martinez? What a terrible signing by Neander. Dude has given up 5 or more runs every start. I mean, listen, spring training is not where you make evaluations, but you can't be, you know, blind to what's going on, you know? To
be fair, I think we said this whenever they signed him too. Like we were like, that's the guy.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at his 14-year career. It's a career 4.16, which is not bad. It's not terrible, but it's headed in the wrong direction.
I don't think the 35-year-old Nick Martinez is going to give me the 35-year-old Charlie Morton production. Yeah. I think it's happening.
No, it's not happening. Nathan Elliott says, JP is missing Stu. He loved the Stu dude. Stu is gone and his history, but JP can't just let him go. Move on. I think I've done well. I mentioned him very infrequently. Right? No? Blind spot?
I'm going to be quiet on that one.
Okay. I'm open to it. Go Millionaire says, agree, JP strategy was good. Execution was poor. Yeah. Well, to Barkley's credit, he probably Golden hadn't spoken yet about what his strategy was, so he probably didn't know. So it just looked like they had a bad strategy when they just didn't execute. So that's part of it. Lonnie says Spectrum gets you ESPN Unlimited for free, Nick, so you don't have to pay for WWE Premium Live events.
Yeah, and I pay for.
What do you pay for Spectrum?
You want like the dollar amount?
Yeah.
Plus internet?
Oh, internet's included?
Internet's included. So
all right, let me guess.
Higher.
180.
I wish.
Higher than 180?
Significantly.
250?
A little higher. 265.
265 for cable TV?
Yeah.
Plus internet?
Yeah. It's that's together. That's together.
That's a lot.
I do also add a sports package on there. But that's only like $7.99 extra.
Wow.
But you know what they also give you though? I don't know if yours does this, but for me it does. They include into it I think it's baked into the price, and they try to pawn it off as well. Right. You get this free. I think it's in the price.
Oh, yeah.
But they give
you a big price.
You get like HBO Max, Peacock, Paramount Plus, ESPN Unlimited, as Lonnie said. You get all this stuff in there, so you don't have to have subscriptions on the side. Like the only subscription that I pay for streaming is essentially Netflix then. But I think they bake it into the price. So if you look at it that way,
it's a lot.
It's still a lot of money, though. In fact, I think I'm due to make a phone call to Spectrum and potentially
give them the old "I'm leaving."
Yeah, get the old "I'm leaving," and all of a sudden the bill gets dashed by $100, maybe.
John Hill says, up 2 points, one does not pressure the inbounds ball. You attack at midcourt. Basketball 101, pressure too soon leads to NBA fast break. Well, they got beat on it. They definitely got beat on it. They thought that they could hem up Sturts in the backcourt, and they didn't. They double teamed him. I think it's, I don't know, half court. I mean, you could do that, but you can also challenge the inbounds. I don't know.
Yeah. So much for all of the Florida schools. We had 4 in the tournament or 5, and we leave the first weekend and they're all gone because Miami didn't really put up much of a fight yesterday against Purdue. UCF and USF and UCF bowed out in the first round, and Florida the 1 seed out. So the Florida just like that, we're out.
Damn, that was quick. Yeah, there was some really interesting stuff that happened in the tournament. We'll get to that. Let's take our final break. We'll come back on the other side, get to St. John's. But Duke surviving too already. And UNC. Woo, wow. It's been a chalk tournament, but for the most part, again.
Yeah, you don't get the High Point was the only real mid-major that got an upset. I think.
Yeah.
I don't consider VCU like a true mid-major.
Not anymore.
Not
anymore. No.
And everyone saw that coming, I felt like.
Yeah. But the way it went down, though. Oof. All right. I want to thank the great folks at Cafe Paradiso. Paulo. What's up, my friend? Great Italian food. Number 3 in the open table list as ranked by their readers and users. What a great traditional Italian meal that you will get there. Oh, it's been far too long. I have got to get over there, and I think I will go tonight. Cafe Paradiso right there on South McDill. Lasagna, branzino. The seafood is fresh. It's fantastic. The pasta is made. Everything's made to order. Sauce is amazing. Oh, just the experience. It's just old school Italian. If that's what you like, you'll love Cafe Paradiso on South McDill. Back in 3. As the Rays enjoy being back in their Tropicana field home this season that was ravaged by Hurricane Milton, Italiano Insurance wants to remind us all how important it is to be properly insured. 40% of you are underinsured. That can mean financial disaster. Let the experienced and friendly agents at Italiano shop your policies for the best price and the right coverage. Italiano saved me over $1,000 on our auto insurance last year, over $500 on our homeowners insurance. They can do the same for you. That's a grand slam. Might as well get a double play by adding flood insurance and business insurance to your portfolio. Cost less than you think, and trust me, you do not want to risk your home or personal wealth. That's a whiff. So step up to the plate and call 813-877-7799 and chat with our all-star agents at Italiano Insurance, or call our Boca Grande office at 941-964-0400. Hey, lots going on at Genesis of Tampa, selling amazing vehicles and doing great things in the community. And March is Gray Bull Rescue Military Appreciation Month. A portion of all vehicle purchases go towards a donation to Gray Bull Rescue, who recently saved dozens of Americans from the cartel violence in Mexico. A great organization. St. Patrick's Day is coming up. Wear green, buy green, save green. Wear green to Genesis of Tampa on St. Patrick's Day, March 17th, for $500 off any vehicle in stock. Buy anything green that's green in color, cars, SUVs, you get $1,000 off. Also, buy a vehicle between March 14th and 17th, and you'll be entered to win a trip to Ireland on us. How about that? Of course, Genesis vehicles are the best in class for value, technology, luxury. And there's a National Genesis Signature event going on currently to get 1.9% financing. Limitations apply. Whether it's the G70, G80, 90 sedans, or the incredible SUV lineup, take a test drive and see what everyone is talking about. It's special. Genesis of Tampa, 801 East Bears Avenue. Tell them JP sent you. Hey, the Golden Diamond Source wants to be your family jeweler, so don't wait any longer to find that one-of-a-kind perfect engagement ring for that special someone in your life. At the Golden Diamond Source, they can design anything you want personally. The Golden Diamond Source can help you trade in your old broken jewelry and use it towards a new purchase as well. And with gold prices at record high, now is the best time to do it. They only sell natural diamonds at the Golden Diamond Source, so if it's a real love, it should be a real natural diamond. Don't start your relationship with a fake diamond. bad idea. And with the Gold and Diamond Source first-time buyer program, you can learn all about the 4 C's in all the different shapes and styles. And they are able to show you a huge selection of inventory to choose from. And don't forget, 0% financing for up to 5 years. If you finance $5,000, it's only $83 a month. Make sure it's a Gold and Diamond Source Diamond, 3800 Almerton Road, always online at goldendiamond.com.
It's a love you give only at Golden Diamond Source.
JP here for Riveters, our new official sports bar and grill of the JP Peterson Show. And just like our show, no BS, no corporate chain feel, just amazing, authentic folks serving great comfort food in a casual atmosphere at unheard of prices. Riveters is located just south of Raymond James and Steinbrenner Field on Dale Mabry, walking distance to the park. So free parking, great place for pregame and postgame. Let's talk about fresh food. Nothing is frozen. Burgers, wings, prime rib, roasted fresh daily, never frozen. That makes a huge difference. The mahi, the salmon, also super fresh. All our sauces are original recipes made in-house. Our Warhawk chili and fully loaded potato soup is made fresh in-house. It's the best food anywhere, served by people who actually care. Riveters on Dale Mabry, just north of 275, just south of where the Bucks and Rays play. We'll see you there.
Sunshine State, where the storms roll in. Gotta keep your roof strong to never give in. From hurricane winds to that summer heat, pitch roofing's here and they're hard to beat. From shingles to metal, they got the skill, fixing up your home with a builder's thrill. When your roof's in trouble and you don't know who to call, just remember Pitch Roofing, they'll cover it all. Pitch Roofing, roofing done right, keeping you safe day and night. In the Florida sunshine, the stormy skies, Pitch Roofing, roofing done right.
Let's go. Right now. Back to the show on FanStream Sports.
And show as we roll on here, brought to you by the great folks at the Gold and Diamond Source. And they have a new men's department over there, by the way. So if you want to get a chain or a ring or whatever you're looking for, maybe a pre-owned Rolex watch, I have lots of those over there. Great investments. And if you're looking to drop the question, get a ring. Nick and I did it. We went over to the Gold and Diamond Source. It was easy. Tell them what your budget is. They're not going to pressure you to do anymore and get a real diamond. Don't get a fake. Bad idea. And off you go. And 0% interest, 5 years. So easy they make it at the Gold and Diamond Source. So stop putting it off. Go get that ring and ask her to marry you. Maybe you'll have a little baby. How's that working out, Nick?
I've been looking at my phone go off. It's buzzing. The little the monitor.
The terrorist is.
Look at that. You
at
see
work.
look at all the notifications. Cry detected near Colin's crib. Motion detected. Sound detected. It's been going off all morning.
Wow.
And I'm over here not helping.
Thank God we didn't have that when my kids were young. We had baby monitors. We didn't have notifications
This
on our
thing
phone.
is crazy. It's like a stand-up. It looks like one of these things. It's probably the half of the size of this big light here. And it's got like a little camera that drops down over the crib, connects to the monitor, so you can see it at all times. And literally, like I'm telling you, if a bug goes by that camera, we get like a notification saying there's been sound detected.
Wow.
It's crazy.
It's a little much.
It's a little much. There's a lot of technology now with the baby stuff.
A little much. Wow.
I didn't pay for it.
Rick says $280 for cable. You better get live weather updates in your kitchen every 9 minutes.
I know. I'm getting ripped off. I understand.
You get Spectrum Sports. That's worth it.
This is the
10:30 show is always
This is
good.
the price I'm willing to pay though to have everything on one screen in front of me.
Well, it's part of your business, number one. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
I need it.
Yeah. And you spend a lot of time watching TV.
A lot. Yeah.
So yeah, it's worth it. There's certain places where you want to put your money. And usually if it's something you're doing most of the time,
yeah,
invest in quality instead of
it has just steadily,
you don't want to cheap out on that.
It has just steadily gone up though. It was $150 a month when it started.
Problem with this cable is you're paying for so much stuff that you never watch.
No, literally.
Like never watch.
Yeah. Like
why can't we just have a la carte?
Yeah, there's like
there's 15 stations that I want. What's that going to cost me?
Yeah.
They still won't do that.
No, you can do streaming services for that.
I know, but then you to your point, you still got to
get extra subscriptions for things.
Half the time you got to sign back in. It's just maddening. Maddening. Cannot stand it. I'm with you on that. So you pay for the convenience. Absolutely. All right. So a couple other things we want to get to. We talked about the atmosphere at the Valspar. It was absolutely amazing. And then Matt Fitzpatrick, after a gut-wrenching loss at the Players, comes back yesterday and plays the snake pit impeccably. Hits a great, was playing from about 219 yesterday on 17. And he hit a beautiful shot right to the middle of the green, had about an 18, I think 20-footer up, did not make birdie on 17, but goes to 18, all tied with Lipsky, who's just like the quintessential grinder, tour grinder. Who, if you're being honest, you don't want David Lipsky winning your tournament. You just don't. I mean, lovely guy.
You want the name.
Yeah, you want a major championship winner.
Yeah. Who's going to come back every year.
He's going to come back, who's an international name, obviously. So it plays really, really well in the European theater and brings tourists and all that great stuff. So it's exactly what they wanted to happen. In 18, I don't know how many birdies were there yesterday at 18, maybe, I don't know, 7. I don't know how many, but it's a tough hole. It's a tough hole. And he steps up on 18 and freaking stripes one 300 plus yards up the hill. I think he only had like 120 in, and he hit it just below the hole, just right of the hole, and makes about a 20-footer for the win. Birdie. Lipsky had the birdie on 18, hit it in the rough, which, I mean, that drive on 18 is brutal. It's just, there's bunkers on both sides. You get in the bunkers, it's really, really tough because they're deep, and hit to an uphill. Just it's an almost automatic bogey. So you got to hit to a fairway that's about 20 yards wide, maybe 25 yards wide, and he just striped it and then hit a great second and made the putt to win by 1.
Yeah, I would say before that, I wouldn't say that final round had a lot of, I don't know, juice to it, maybe.
No.
We didn't have as much theatrics going on.
Well, it's just a lot of no names.
Yeah, that's part of it.
Yeah.
But
I mean, James had 7 birdies on the backside. I mean, not the backside, but I think he after like maybe the last 13 holes.
Yeah, but
he's a no name.
It was just tough sledding out there. And I think that's the thing about the Valspar this week. I think its reputation took a big step forward this weekend because of how tough it played.
Yeah.
I think a lot of players appreciated the fact that they went here and like, you really have to grind your way through 4 days here.
Yes, big time.
And you had a cut that was over par.
Yep.
Going in. The winning score was 11 under, and it took a 20-foot putt to get there.
Yep.
A lot of guys struggling, a lot of guys with their irons just landing in bad areas. It was a grind to get through this weekend. And I think it opened up. I saw people saying like, oh, I wouldn't be opposed to Innisbrook one day hosting a major because that's how tough it's played.
Worthy. Yeah.
There were other people saying that the course on TV
looked brown.
Yeah. I think we're kind of in a little bit of a drought now.
Yeah.
That was part of it. I think that was part of the reason why it played so tough too, because it was so dry.
Yeah, it was crusty.
It was so dry.
And I don't mean that in a bad way.
It's not a bad way at all.
There was to John Hill's he posted this, the Valspar had a pro tour record for hole outs. I think it was like 147.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is, the greens were rolling great, but they're subtle breaks and it's really hard to get close to the holes. Proximity is tough to get to.
I tell you who feels like they probably got this one slipped away from him was Jordan Spieth. He played really well this weekend.
Yeah.
And he is very much what I would call a light switch player. It just either it's on or it's off.
Yeah, it's
every
putting.
week.
It just comes down to putting.
He made more birdies than Matt Fitzpatrick did.
Yeah.
And he finished 11th and Fitzpatrick won. But I thought he had a really good weekend. Schauffele.
He's just missing too many short putts.
Yeah. Schauffele, this is where I was telling you about I have a betting went wrong.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't bet. I have the Hard Rock app. I never open it, which is good. Yesterday, I'm sitting on the couch next to Case and we're watching the tournament and Schauffele starts. He hits 4 birdies to start, gets to 6 under. And I'm looking at the leaderboard and I'm like, okay, outside other than Fitzpatrick, none of these guys have been in this position before.
None. Tough golf course, pressure's on. It's got to be somebody with
So I was like, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that Schauffele could go on a run here and get in the mix. So I looked at the odds. He was plus 3,500.
Damn.
I threw like just a little bit on there, but it was to win a pretty good amount.
Yeah.
On Schauffele. Then he comes the par 5 fifth. He gets a bogey. And I'm like, of course he did.
You bogeyed 5?
He bogeyed 5, a par 5. And I'm like, of course he did. The second I threw money on him, and I never bet, he does that.
Sounds like me.
And then he was having a meltdown for the following 3 holes. And I'm like, this is why I don't bet. Well, while I bet on Schauffele, I also said, okay, I'm going to bet on somebody in the top 2. See if I have a shot to win that. And I told her, I said, I think I would throw money on Fitzpatrick. Well, Fitzpatrick had the second best odds behind Sung J M. So the payout wasn't that great.
Right.
And so I was looking, and I landed on Marco Pinge because I bet with my emotions, because I saw that, his son, I guess, just gotten out of the NICU earlier in the week. And so he was playing with a heavy heart. And I was like, okay, that'd be a cool story if he wins this. And he was 39th ranked in the world. He's had a solid start to the season. I was like, maybe. The hell out of the ball. Yeah. I was like, oh, okay, I'll throw it on Pinge because, not quite the Schauffele level of payout, but a decent payout.
Yeah.
And he played just even throughout the day.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Fitzpatrick goes and wins. And it was just like my wake-up call. I'm like, this is why I think I deleted the app last night. I'm like, I'm not doing this again. I was going to throw a futures bet on the Masters for somebody to win, and I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm out.
It's so much fun.
I could have just thrown my money on Fitzpatrick, and I could have made a little bit of a profit and been done with it.
Think I'm courtside, and I pop in there because I'm going to lose my under bet, and I'm going to go, ooh, I think at the moment they were up by 4. This was probably 6 minutes to go. I think they were up by 4 for 5, 4, maybe 4. And I said, and they were still 2.5 point underdogs. And I'm like, if they lose, they're not going to lose by 3. They're going to lose by 3. They might lose by 2, but I like it at 2.5 as a really good bet. So I basically bet what I was going to lose on the under, and then I'm watching it play out, and I almost middled it and got both. But I'm watching the Gators come down the court, and I'm like, oh, don't hit a 3. But it was fun. It's really fun to play March Madness, no doubt about it. Did you see Brady? I was going to ask you this. So now he's working for WWE. He's got a little wrestling, making some comments about wrestlers. Clearly planned. Clearly part of the script.
As it gets, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's the end goal here? Like, am I going to have is there going to be a visual in the middle of the ring at WrestleMania in Las Vegas where Brady and Logan Paul are face to face, and Brady just hits Logan Paul with a worked punch and knocks him down, and I'm supposed to believe that? Like, what's the end game here? Brady, they're clearly setting up to something.
Yeah.
So Brady, in my opinion, needs to have an actual talent on the roster represent him against Logan Paul to beat his ass. That's the only way there's an end game here.
Max Crosby. Is it in Vegas?
Yes, it's in Vegas.
Oh, yeah. Max Crosby's got to be involved. In fact, I wouldn't doubt that this whole trade and nixing of the trade isn't part of the whole work.
Yeah, it might be. Well, the NFL and WWE are in the same business.
To my point.
In the show business,
to my point.
The show business.
It's all part of the story.
Yeah. But to your point about the flag football game, if you spent your Friday after, was it Friday or Saturday?
Yeah, it's Friday, I think. I just saw highlights.
Yeah, if you spent your Friday or Saturday, or even worse, Saturday afternoon in front of your TV at 4:00 watching flag football,
it was like the flag football world champions against NFL players.
Yeah, but there was a mix of like Logan Paul's out there, I Show Speed is out there, like there's like influencers out there too. So I didn't know what was happening.
It's just the worst word. Like as soon as you mention that, I'm out.
Influencer.
I'm out.
I don't know what was happening, but our boy Brady though.
Oh, he can still chuck it. Woo. He can still chuck it.
Brady to Gronk one final time in the back of the end zone on a rope.
Who doesn't want to see that in the Olympics?
I don't know. The quarterback for the for the flag football team he could move. He had Luke Kuechly couldn't get close to him.
No, you can't. These guys, it's a different game, man. I played flag football for 20 years, and it's God, I miss it so much. But we played at a pretty high level, and these guys weren't even. I mean, a lot of ex-FSU players, but these guys are just they're pros.
Yeah.
And they know how to play this game, and it's a different game than what the NFL plays. So what is our team going to look like? Do we want it to be, the pros, the flag football pros who are as a team better than the NFL players, or do we want to see Mike Evans and Tom Brady hook up at LA 28?
I mean, let's be honest. if you're what's going to get you to tune in more?
Well, you know how there's A and B teams, like we have 3 bobsled teams. Can't we have 2 flag football teams? See, to me, that would be awesome. We could have an NFL team, and then we could have the flag football pros, and we'll see who wins the gold. That'd be better than us playing Italy for the gold in flag football. It's going to be a rout. Come on now.
Yeah.
It's going to be a complete rout. USA is going to rout whoever it is for the next 8 Olympics. I mean,
to the end of time.
Wouldn't it be cool if we had a, because if you in the 4-man bobsled, you can have, Germany 1, 2, and 3 win medals. Why can't we have USA A and USA B in flag football? And then that would be a gold medal game.
Apparently you should be on the Olympic committee.
Apparently I should. It's again, fixing everything. This world of sports needs to be fixed.
But yeah, but seriously though, if Brady could still take a hit, I mean, he could do this still.
Oh, hell yeah.
You see the velocity on the ball?
Yeah.
Like,
remember when people said his arm was dead when he came here? I'm like, what film are you watching? No. All right. Great job, Nick. Did we forget anything? Anything else? I think we got to it all.
No, one little minor quick hit in my NASCAR world. Michael Jordan did it again.
Did he really?
Tyler Reddick won yesterday at Darlington. He's won 4 of the first 6 races of the season.
Are we fixing this because Michael Jordan won the court case?
That is some actual conspiracy theory that is out there from people that is absolutely ridiculous. Because Tyler Reddick is not a slouch. He won the regular season championship 2 years ago. And has always been known as one of the most talented drivers. But Michael Jordan has been at the track for every race this year. And obviously, it's a big deal. That's a very big deal for NASCAR. But 4 out of 6 for him.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm so freaking cynical now. Like, I think the whole damn world's a simulation now. So why isn't it
all fixed? Everything.
There's some puppeteer we're all on his desktop. This is a simulation. He's having fun with it. Like, whoa, watch this. Michael Jordan winning NASCAR. Tom Brady in wrestling getting together. You're going to trade Max Crosby and then have it nullified and then have him come out for WrestleMania and be a heel in Vegas where he wanted to leave. Like, it's all starting to make sense now.
Yeah.
NFL but I'm like, that's the first thing I said is like, does the NFL want Tom Brady, one of their owners, being part of a scripted sport that we're now semi-covering as if it's real at ESPN? As if you're not giving me idiots like me enough ammunition saying the game is scripted. I mean, you're going to do this? They're literally, it's a layup now.
I mean, it's not even just Tom, but like in the world of entertainment in general, like, Jelly Roll is a part of a storyline right now.
In wrestling?
For WrestleMania.
Of course he is.
He actually was in a match in SummerSlam in August.
I remember him saying he wanted to be a wrestler.
Yeah, he was in a match in August in SummerSlam, and now he's building towards a match now for WrestleMania. So,
y'all have fun with that. Y'all have fun with that. I got too much other stuff to worry about. All right. Okay. As always, you Petermans out there. By the way, give me some feedback on whether you want to have a draft party here at this studio. We're considering doing that, bringing in some Riveters wings and all that fun stuff to watch the Bucks draft a wide receiver at 15. Can't wait. Who needs an edge rusher? Have a great day, everybody.